Hello guys, we're going to go ahead and actually take a look at a game that was played on Xel'Naga Caverns. I did do this on Master's Ladder, so this is going to be a pretty cool game. We're going to be watching me, I'm the Protoss in the top right, going up against MICCStaR, who is a really interesting Zerg player that I played against, and I really want to actually use this game to emphasize a few points about PvZ. One of them just being the fact that Zerg can be very pesky, very annoying, not even using too many units, but just really manage to be incredibly persistent, especially in the early game, when it comes to playing a style of ZVP where you basically want to shut down your opponent and just have very large map presence, and how to actually deal with this as Protoss, especially because a few lings running around into an expansion can really hurt you. Getting them in the probe line can damage your economy and almost cripple you. Granted, you have Chrono Boost that can allow you to get probes back at a decent pace, but if you think about the way Spawn Larva works, while you're chrono boosting out a few probes, your Zerg opponent can say, hey, I'm aware that the fact that my Protoss opponent has just taken economic damage, and therefore I can go ahead and produce about 10 drones right now, and I know it'll be safe because the Protoss can't really be in a position to push. So now, right now you can see that I saw him just do that, and so I did manage to escape. I'll be moving on to my first-person view in a minute or two. Basically, once you start seeing the multitasking that's going to be happening around from the Zerg and how I'm going to just deal with it, trying to make sure that I don't take too much damage in pretty much any respect. So I have to basically try and stabilize, because this is going to be a very strong Zerg player. So now you do see he's going for a Speedling opener, which is going to mean that he has the capacity to be aggressive very early on with Speedlings, and those are dangerous, especially in the early game when you don't have a ton that can really deal with it, except for a good SimCity and having a Zealot out and a couple force fields. That's all Protoss has to deal with really active Speedlings. And they can be really pesky. What they can do is force fields from your sentries, and if you're going to try and be aggressive in the early game and you don't have much energy, you're going to be destroyed. Lings will be able to wreck you, and it will not be pretty. So right now you can see that I am doing the sort of Korean-esque wall where if there's a 6 pool, you just throw down a forge, and you can then throw down a cannon over here, possibly cybernetics core here, pylon here, and that full wall will mean there's no way a 6 pool will ever kill you, and it's great you don't have to scout the Zerg immediately in order to really be able to be ready for the 6 pool. So it's very nice. As long as you scout the pylon, you'll have ample time to build a forge here instead of the cybernetics core before the gateway's even done, and you're safe. It's really good, and then you can just do whatever you want after that, and generally you'll be able to take out a victory, unless your Zerg opponent is Sen, in which case you're going to have to deal with some crazy death to yourself. So right now, just walking around here, you can see that I do a 1-gate expand almost always in PvZ. I think it's the most versatile. You can still defend a lot, but something I want to note about the 1-gate expand build order is that you should not actually chrono boost out your warp gate. You should only chrono boost out sentries for early defense, plus gives you an opportunity to be aggressive earlier on if you want to push out with a small group of sentries. So you can see there I am chrono boosting these guys out, not crossing probes anymore. I'll be able to get a 5-minute or so nexus with this build, and it'll be very nice for your economy. So now, that's something I do like to do, is actually push out a little early game with around 8 to 11 or 12 units, depending on what I see from Zerg, and usually consists of a sentry, a zealot, a stalker, and then some amount of sentries, and it allows me to do a lot of damage, to really just poke around and threaten the Zerg. So here I am getting my nexus a little after 5 minutes. Pile on the front, I'll be able to throw down a couple of gateways and start walling. And if we take a look at what MICCStaR is doing at this point, he's being very good. He's got 2 queens out, Spawn Larva energy is looking to be pretty solid on either of these queens. If this is the main queen for his main base, and he's actually managing to be this good with the Spawn Larva, it's definitely a nice showing, although I'm actually picking the worst possible moment to show you his good Spawn Larva, as he's now going up to 10 excess energy when he was actually perfect before. So it's kind of unfortunate timing on my part, because MICCStaR is pretty damn good. So now we're going to be over here. Queen is there, natural. You got drones coming on. Just for the record, we see even count of, oh, scratch that, 28 drones to 24 probes, just as I was saying that. So you can see that this guy is going to be very comfortable early games economy. His nexus, his hatchery's out. My nexus is not completed yet. I've got a little bit of a wall here. It's going to allow me to have a nice little bit of defense against early pressure with the lings, which is something that I really value. So you can see that my warp gate's now done at about the same time as my gates. You can see I never chrono boosted it once, and we can see that this is a very nice time for these gateways to finish and go into warp gates. My nexus is complete, and you can see there is the transfer of a few probes. And now let's go ahead and take a look at what MICCStaR is doing. He's got a macro hatch going down over here. You can see he's got an Evo chamber, Roach Warren, extractors are going down. He's begun mining once again from his gas. He's preparing for the mid game right now. Still droning up. 8 more drones are coming in, and he's going to be having a very nice lead of 40 to about 30 for me. So it's a little unfortunate for me, but I'm going to chrono boost my guys out, get my economy back up, and you can see that it's going to start getting aggressive from MICCStaR. His layer is going down, Roach is here. Look at the production tab. We're going to see that it's going to have a huge amount of larvae with these 3 macro hatches about to be, 3 hatches about to be done, one of them being a macro hatch. So now this is a little move out that I was talking about with the small amount of units. I went to go for the 11 unit move out instead of the 8 one. I am researching hallucination directly after warp gate. Always get hallucination. You're going to need that to scout, because especially if you're going to do a push like this, you need to see if he's going to be able to take no damage from it whatsoever. But with me not having it done quite yet, I decided to pull back because he saw me pushing out. He can easily bring out a lot of lings and then try and start my sentries and do damage that way. You can see roaches are on the field. There are a fair amount of lings on the field, and this is we're going to start switching over to my camera now. So we'll go ahead and continue watching this, and I'll be able to really show you pretty much what's going to be happening. So now we've got the Phoenixes. This is going to be the key point of the game. I've now set it up for what I want to be, exactly where I want to be at this point in time. I've got my forge out, I'm getting my robo out, I've got 3 gates, my 4th gas about to complete, I've got a good saturation of probes, I've been chrono boosting them out after everything. You see my chrono boost energy is pretty low on my nexuses, so I'm doing good on that, or doing well on that, sorry. I like doing proper English. But now, here's a couple of things that I move around and see. I see spine crawlers, I see roaches, I see him going for his 3rd, but he doesn't have the 3rd quite yet. Something that I like to do against Zerg is get around a 10-minute expo for my 3rd base, which can be a little bit risky, but I'm looking around here, and it looks like he's going to be going for economy. He doesn't have a 3rd base, but he wasn't quite sure whether I went for a 1-gate expand or a 3-gate expand. He probably assumes 1-gate expand just because of the slightly early nexus. Usually 3-gate, you get about a 6-minute nexus, and for you can actually cheat a little bit before 6 minutes with a 3-gate expo. With the 1-gate expo, it's around 5 minutes, and I was a little bit in between that, so it can be a little bit ambiguous at times. Now I'm going to start working on getting my 3rd. This is a risky part, is that you don't have vision in the watchtowers right now because of lings. And that means for me, I have to be careful. So you have to, one of the greatest resources you can possibly use in the game are your out-of-game resources, your eyes. It's kind of weird to think of your eyes as a resource, but if you control, oh, I'm looking here, I'm looking there, and you just go back and forth like this, you can go minimap, food count, minimap, food count, I don't want to be supply blocked, okay, pylons, okay, minimap, I don't see any movement, I'm just moving back and forth based on what I see. And now I'm going to do a little bit of aggression moving out, but because my +1 is about to finish. It's a huge, huge marker for a strength in the game, is when your +1 is about to finish. You can see me getting my 3rd base up right now, and I'm going to push out, trying to do a little bit, basically defend my expo by being aggressive. By being aggressive, I can go ahead and basically make sure that he's not going to be able to, really attack me, because he's going to have the weaker army strength in terms of the specific units that Zerg has versus what I have. Plus I have force fields, and that's great. But now this, you can see on my minimap, I had no idea that was happening. If you go back and look at the replay, I can show you that those lings were actually hiding on the minimap over here or so to move in the second I moved out. It's a great thing to do as Zerg. Those backstabs are incredibly powerful, and now you can see that he's going to run around and go directly into my main. But I just used my warp in, so I'm actually unable to block that off with the Zell, which is what I want to do. Now he's going to do this, but check it out. I've got warp in links, my Zell's here because those 2 excess gateways that I built and my natural just completed, and I was going to do that, but those guys actually burrowed. I forget if I actually noticed that directly in the game or not, but I think I did. You can see I'm still moving forward with my observer and everything, so I'll be able to actually deal with these guys. So now that I did see that, those links are going to do nothing because I'm going to kill them. You'll notice that I'm also going for Immortals. I don't really like Colossi that much as a personal thing, even though they're incredibly strong, incredibly powerful. It's a style I don't really like to do it as Protoss. So now I'm going to try and get my 3rd back up again. I wanted it a couple minutes ago, so I'm going to try and really be able to get up again. You can see right now, if you look at the food count, he's definitely ahead. Take the drone to road count, he's definitely ahead. It's 61 to 41. He's killed another one. Now I'm forced to cancel this again, but luckily it's a cancel. It didn't actually complete But I do have Blink. It's going to help me a lot, and he's being very, very pesky and annoying by the fact that he's darting in and out, not really taking much damage, but dealing a lot. So if you look at the units lost tab, you can see how I've taken a fair amount of damage. And this is bad. I'm a macro player. I play for economy. I try to make sure the Zerg can't do the things they're doing right now by pushing out, but he's being very, very aggressive, very, very good about being active with his units. So now I'm going to poke forward, not do any kind of a commitment attack, because this is a very vulnerable time for Protoss and PvZ, because if you can take a look at just the ability to macro, the ability of the amount of units you can create at this point in time is very much in favor of him. So I'm moving around, I'm looking for expos, I'm looking for places off creep that I can engage, because he can get a ton of damage done if I engage him on creep right now, and I'm fully aware of this. I'm happy because I have Blink, I have Immortals, I have a good bit of army. I'm going to start preparing to try and get into the late-ish game by stabilizing here as I work on getting more upgrades. But I'm on the right side, I'm moving forward, I'm scouting. You can see I sent out the Hallucinated Phoenix to look for his army, but it's right over here, unfortunately, so I ended up actually missing that. But there's going to be just me saving a Stalker or two by using the Shift Blink technique. I think he still took out one of them, but I think one of them might have escaped. But now this is going to be a really frustrating time for me because it's 15 in the game. I don't have a 30th attack with a huge army, but luckily I have upgrades. I've got force fields, I've got Guardian Shield, and you can see me just attacking with a fairly decent concave, using the high ground, using the low ground actually to my advantage, even though he has the high ground, which sounds weird, but if you can get the concave, even if you're on the low ground, it's not a big deal. This isn't Blue where you don't have a chance of missing when you attack low to high ground. So I have Blink. I can blink away my guys from taking too much damage, but the cooldown was off. That's why I couldn't do it for that point. But now I can start doing that and saving my Stalkers. So this game is not good right now for me. You can see I'm down 50 food. I'm working on getting the gold now because I know my economy is just not good if I don't go get that gold. That gold is going to be my savior at this point in time. Plus, it'll be easier to defend. It's closer to me, and I can get out more observers to scout on the map to see if he's going to push around that left side like he did with that backstab of the Lings to shut down my expo the first time. So you can see I'm doing that. I'm setting that observer over there. I've now got the gold 6 minutes after the expo that I want. So now I see him going for an expo, and I just don't want that to happen. So I'm going to work on this. I'm going to set up all my hotkeys. By the way, guys, you should always use screen hotkeys. And then there's me trying to shut off a few of those roaches, but I only get one, unfortunately. Forces are so important when you have a style like this that I use. They're incredibly important because they will win you engagements that you would not otherwise be able to win, even with the Guardian Shield reduction to the range damage attacking coming in. But if look at where I'm at right now, I've got 111 food to his 185. This is by no means anywhere close to where I want to be in this game. You can see my Chrono Boost is slacking because I don't have anything to Chrono Boost that's beneficial except for that weapons upgrade that I'm going to right now. I hopefully do that. But now you can see that observer I have on the left just saw some Lings moving over, so I have some Stalkers there ready just to be there in case to push in, hopefully deter him from going up into my main base even. But I'm still producing Immortals because they're just very, very strong. I know he's Roach heavy. I'm also aware of the fact that I transferred these probes early, but they have no benefit in being elsewhere at the moment. So I'm just going to let them go in and distance mine for a second, and come back, and now I'm going to press C, bring them in, and get as many gold resources as I can. And there, those Lings are moving forward. My Moral took a little more damage than I would have liked, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to start pushing forward and be really, really annoying. But here's what I was talking about, force fields. Watch these force fields as I do this. They're going to try and do anything but disrupt his concave. Make sure that as many of his roaches are doing nothing as I possibly can. I've got a lot of attack upgrades. I'm just going to quickly click on myself and see that actually I have +3 attack. That is going to save me. Look at these force fields. Look at the roaches that are doing nothing. He can't even target fire my Nexus because I'm preventing his abilities to pretty much do anything. I'm still working on getting all his Immortals out, and now you can see that I did fairly well on that and handling that battle. I'm able to blink forward, taking out roaches, doing a little bit of damage, just being pesky, or just responding to his peskiness with my own, just being aggressive, poking forward. And you can see that. Also, I just want to point out vulnerability in terms of Stalkers with Blink. When you blink forward like that, when you're very close to the creep, those roaches turn around. They outrun Stalkers. There's only a 0.05 speed difference between a Stalker and a Speed Roach, but on creep that is multiplied. Not really multiplied, but it's vastly significant the speed at which a Roach can actually encroach upon a Stalker, and it can be very, very detrimental if you blink forward and get surrounded like that, because you can't blink back because of the cooldown for blinks. So you have to be really careful with your Blink Stalker micro in situations like this. So now I have the gold. It's 20 minutes in. I'm basically just now starting to use it. I'm being cost efficient with force fields and my army composition. I am not going for Colossi. I'm not going for DTs. I am not going for Void Rays. I'm going for the most economically feasible build I possibly can because my economy is my weakness at this point, and I'm fully aware of that. But now that I have the gold, I have a lot more of an opportunity to come back in this economically, and I can start being a little bit more aggressive again. I've been looking around for his. I should be looking around for his expos right now. You can see I'm looking to see if he's got the gold. I knew he broke down the rocks. No gold. Okay, I'm good. Poke down. Let's see if that third base is going to be a vulnerability for him, and I'll be able to attack and somehow do damage over here to really be able to benefit me. And I can see that there's nothing in the rocks. I'm going to go ahead and force field this. He can't come down now. He does not have ultra. This just means that force fields are not going to be broken by him. There's nothing on the map right now that can break force fields. So I'm going to do this, take out drones, do a little bit of economic damage. I'm also keeping an eye on my observer on the left. I see his army's not doing up. Oh, hey, look, now he is warping a few zealots. It's just a few lings, that's fine. But now I'm going to retreat my entire army because his other roaches are going to be coming into play right now. That's going to be very, very annoying. So now I'm moving forward. Stalkers should be doing some kind of blink. There we go. There's the blink to start attacking, but I guarantee I would losing this Nexus. Unfortunately, he's being really, really good with his kiting to do this, but I'm really trying to move forward all my Stalkers, do as much damage as I can, and now once again I'm in the red. I'm supply blocked and I've lost an expansion. So instantaneously rebuild the Nexus, and I'm going to start being aggressive. My army is looking to be fairly strong right now. I took out a few of his units. He didn't really take out any of my army in that engagement. He's focusing on taking out the Nexus, which is great, but this means I must be aggressive. I have to attack right now. You can see I'm even going to go ahead and double expand because I know my economy is very, very behind it. I can only have to do something risky, otherwise I'm just going to slowly lose instead of getting back into this game. Now here I am, engaging in a choke on purpose, but you see those overlords? Oh, that means there's going to be some Baneling Bobs coming in, so it's time to spread my Stalker. So that's instantaneously what I'm going to be doing. You can see moving out of the range of those guys, I'm going to start spreading them out more. The roaches are still going to take hits from those immortals. My sentries are unfortunately all dead at this point, and we're going to start moving around. And by the way, if you're in the Crushing tab, I built a DT Shrine because I need to damage him economically. Right now, the thing that's really saving me is the fact that I have +3 attack, as you can see from the Stalker. +3 attack, while he's got, if you just look at him for a second, he's got +1 attack. That's going to be his major downfall at the moment, is the fact that he doesn't have the upgrades that I do. Upgrades are essential in my style of pretty much playing this game. I will get +3 attack instantaneously, as fast as I possibly can. Unfortunately, it can't be instantaneous, but it's so important. But now the second that my Dark Shrine is finishing, like you just saw it finish, I'm building gateways. I had the money to. My Nexus is there. If you notice that my double expansion never happened, he has a burrow Zergling there that I didn't realize until pretty much now. But now there are my DTs. I'm moving to his logical next base. I killed his third, means he's probably expanded once or twice, or maybe even 3 times more, because I haven't been able to do much in terms of aggression and being active. But I'm going to go ahead and scout. Since I saw there's no base on the right, move my observer to the left, and I see there's a base over there. So I'm going to warp in DTs, send them over there. I'm going to bring my DTs on the right, bring them down to where his third was, and try and be aggressive in that respect to really come back economically, because this is not good for me. My army engagements have been great because of my upgrades. My Blink Micros have allowed me to lose minimal amounts. My force fields have been decent, allowing me to pretty much stay in this game purely by cost effectiveness. So now, as I'm running around here, I'm continuing to use pretty much macro. My gateways are just complete. I need to get those into warp gates. You can see I am doing that over there. You can see in the bottom I'm just waiting. I'm spamming G at the moment to try and get those last 2 gateways to really be able to start getting effect. And also, if you look left, it says Overseer of this army, which means it's time for Archons instead of DTs, because DTs will just die. Archons are incredible PvZ. You can see he's got 2 guys over there. I think I just end up... No, I didn't press the C button in time. You can see how fast those DTs die. Their DPS is so good. Now, on the bottom right, you can see he doesn't have that third base still. Full of force fields, and I've got this game won. This is a really good showing of how to be aggressive, especially on a small map. That's kind of the main reason why I picked this game in particular. This is a small map, and it makes it easy for Zerg to dart around. When you have a larger map, you can do a little more things like SimCity with cannons and everything. You have a little more time to get things up. But on a small map, it's very different because you can see how easily they're able to dart in over here. I'm actually going to go back into this and just show you that link placement. So even though I had the watchtower, had the vision, it was a very, very nice spot to pick the vulnerability of and have MICCStaR go ahead and really hit me in that respect. So now here we have this group of lings going to run around. He's got the watchtowers. He sees my phoenixes running around, so I can seize my scouts. And these lings are just going to go ahead. Oh, it seems like they're in time. I'm too fast. Okay, there we go. And so now he's going to run around. He's got the defense. He's got the macro hatch. He's moving. He's getting prepping for his third. And now this is when I'm starting to go for my third. His ling is already here in play to stop my probe when it moves down. It's something that I've actually started doing, that I should have started doing sooner, but one thing you can do is just send a stalker or a zealot down there to this base before you expand and make sure you can kill off any lings that are there. You can see as I move forward, there's going to be nexus being placed down, and there are the lings. They're over here, and the second I throw down those stalkers, they're dead. He takes out the pylon, and then he just moves forward and into my base, and then he does a little bit of economic damage, and that's such a great move. And now let's just move forward so we can see that. Also, by the way, there's his third at a pretty good time. It's a little bit late, but the way style he's playing, it's very safe, and he's very aggressive with this, and it works out incredibly well. So it's good for that. Now my third's going again, and his army's moving forward, because I had to move my entire army with because I had the observer in it to take out those lings over there. So he once again stops my third base, forces me to go for the gold, try and stay in this. Otherwise, he'll just slowly overrun me, and that is how the game went, and I think that it's a good example of dealing with a Zerg's ability to be very pesky in the beginning of the game, and I hope you guys learned from that. I definitely enjoyed making it, and I hope to help you guys some more with these games. Let me know if you have any questions. I am trying to do little things where I analyze viewers' replays. If you want me to do that, I'll gladly check out whatever you want. I might as well plug myself. I hate doing that, but yeah, if you can go to my Twitter, I stream sometimes, but I have to figure out my shit. Call JTV. There's issues with the server I think that I'm doing on, because right now I'm doing a local recording instead of actually streaming this, so unfortunately it's an issue. But that will be fixed very, very soon. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned. And remember, upgrade in PvZ. Thank you very much.